Bitcoin has to create its own fucking time. That's the mind-blowing thing about this invention, is he said, I can't trust anyone else's time because that time can mess with the system. So in order for Bitcoin to be its own independent digital money, I have to create my own time. Okay, so now we're going to get into time. Bear with me. Keep bearing with me. The only thing I need you guys to know about time in this whole presentation is that it has a direction. Hence the term arrow of time, right? Time has a direction. There's an arrow of time. All this means is that the past is different than the future, right? I was younger in the past. I will be older in the future. I remember the past. I cannot remember the future. The past I cannot change. The future I don't know. Do you understand? This is what's called the arrow of time. Time moves in this direction, okay? Now, in the physical world, this is very obvious, as I just explained, right? I mean, nobody can go back in time when they were a kid, and nobody knows where they're going to be 20 years from now, right? But the key thing about the physical world that makes society work is that the past is certain and the future is unknown. If that was not the case, if we all knew the future and we can all go back in the past, we'd all be fucking dead at this point, right? It's the atoms in the universe that allow us to live through time like we do. The problem is in the digital world, we don't have time. All we have is information. The physical world is built of atoms in the universe and physical things. The digital world is just built of bytes of data. So in the digital world, the number 10, I do know the number before it, and I do know the number after it, right? I do know the past and the future. If numbers were time, I wouldn't be able to know the future is 11 and the past is 9, right? Or if I were watching a movie, I could rewind time to the beginning scene of the movie, or I can fast forward time to the very end and watch how the movie ends, right? So the problem is in the digital world, we don't have this arrow of time, right? You guys keeping with me? This is a lot. So if Bitcoin's going to design its own time, it's good. I sound like a nut job, but if Satoshi is going to design its own time, I want you guys to understand we don't need a precise clock like we're running the Olympics. We don't care about milliseconds, right? This is not what we're looking for. Bitcoin needs an arrow of time, as I'm describing. We need to somehow replicate the time we have in the real world. We need to somehow have an unchanging past and an undetermined future, okay? Satoshi talks about this. He says proof of work is the only solution he's found to make this a reality, okay? To implement a distributed timestamp server on a peer-to-peer basis, so to translate that into normal speak, if I'm going to fucking invent time on the internet without any trust, that's what he's saying. We need to use proof of work. It is the only way that this is possible. So what is proof of work? Proof of work is a form of cryptographic proof in which one party proves to others that a certain amount of a specific computational effort has been expended. Verifiers can subsequently confirm this expenditure with minimal effort of their part. For those of you that don't know what that means, this is my version of it in Jack language. Proof of work is proof that you did a certain amount of work to guess a random number. The person verifying that can make the work as hard as they want, and they can verify it instantly, okay? Now, the reason that Satoshi uses proof of work and that this is so important is that this is a piece of data that the digital world can understand. Let me go back for a second. I didn't plan this, but do you guys understand this slide here? The digital world doesn't understand atoms. It doesn't understand energy. It doesn't have an arrow of time, right? If I'm counting numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I know the future and I know the past. So the internet, the digital world, the bytes of data doesn't know what time is, right? The physical world does because of atoms, because of energy, right? And so what Satoshi is saying is that proof of work is the only way for us to take energy from the physical world, from this world, and turn it into a digital thing that the internet can understand. Do you understand? So proof of work doesn't require trust. Someone can give me proof of work, and I don't need to trust that they did the work. I can verify it myself. Proof of work can be done by anyone. Any of you can do it, right? You don't need to get a degree at a college. You don't need to give me your resume. Anyone can do it. It has unforgeable costliness, just like gold does. This is what gives Bitcoin a commodity premium. It's costly to do the work. And it allows Bitcoin to establish an undisputable history of events. The future work is unknown, and the past work is easy to verify. The key to Bitcoin and Satoshi unlocking this whole thing and why we're all here is that he found a trustless piece of info, a trustless piece of data that can be produced by the physical world with atoms and with energy, linking this universe to his digital scarce money. More Satoshi quotes. So he writes, in this paper, we propose a solution to the double spending problem using a peer-to-peer distributed timestamp server to generate computational proof of the chronological order of transactions. So proof of work gives Bitcoin its arrow of time. If you actually look at Bitcoin blocks, not to get too technical with you guys, but all they are transactions and the proof of work as a timestamp. Bitcoin's just a timestamp server. So Satoshi is etching time with proof of work. If you look at the actual Bitcoin blockchain, we can watch this. Now, for some reason, Bitcoin block explorers work time in reverse, so time's actually going this way. But you can see the purple is the known past that cannot be changed. The orange is the uncertain future. When you guys use a Bitcoin wallet, and your transaction's unconfirmed, that's what that means. We don't know the future, we can't change the past, and we are living in the eternal now. So this motherfucker, Satoshi Nakamoto, created digital time. Insane. Insane. Now, is he done? Has he solved time? Can we move on to the next topic? Almost. Super close. There's one last piece. In order for us to have distributed consensus, so again, we're building a money that's information. It's a giant list, right? In order for all of us to be able to agree on the sequencing of that list, we have to keep in mind of the speed of light. And this, I'll come back to this because this is why shitcoins don't work, like Solana. So this is important. But the speed of light is, call it around 50 milliseconds, right? This is the fastest information can travel. Okay? So the reason that Satoshi was almost done solving for time in a digital realm is because think of Bitcoin, the blocks are like a clock. Every single Bitcoin block is like tick, 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 right? Bitcoin, each block is like Bitcoin keeping track of time, okay? Now, if the proof of work remained the same difficulty, more work would speed up the clock, right? Does that make sense? So that would leave Bitcoin, if we sped up the clock too fast, we would violate the speed of light. All of us wouldn't be able to get into consensus in a distributed way because Bitcoin would be moving too fast, right? It makes sense? So if Bitcoin was the same amount of difficulty, someone could get a lot of energy, plow it into Bitcoin, speed up Bitcoin's clock, and leave us out of consensus. And Satoshi talks about this. To compensate for increasing hardware speed and varying interest of running nodes over time, so nodes here he means miners, the proof of work difficulty is determined by a moving average, targeting an average number of blocks per hour. If they're generated too fast, the difficulty increases. So why are Bitcoin's blocks 10 minutes? Satoshi Nakamoto created time and then slowed it down. 10 minutes is an arbitrary number, but 10 minutes is long enough to make sure that we're accounting for the speed of light and that Bitcoin isn't moving too fast for all of us to agree on the ordering of transactions. But it's also short enough where it's a decent user experience. People aren't going to get like super fucking pissed off, right? That's how he got to that solution. So I don't know who said this quote. Someone super smart, so shout out to you, whoever did this. But difficulty adjusted proof of work is what makes Bitcoin a decentralized clock, okay? As computers get faster and the total computing power applied to creating Bitcoins increases, the difficulty increases proportionally to the new production constant. Thus, it is known in advance how many new Bitcoins will be created every year in the future. So once you understand that Satoshi created time, you now understand why Bitcoins are stuck in time, right? This is how we know when Bitcoins are going to be issued. This is why it's the hardest money ever. Gold is stuck in the ground. Bitcoin is stuck in time. Do you guys understand how mind-boggling that is? This is why if there's enough demand for gold, we will find more in the ground. We can dig it out of the ground. When someone digs up gold, they didn't create it, they found it, right? All the gold already exists. There's just more in the ground if we want to go dig it up. Same with Bitcoin. All 21 million of it already exists. But you can't dig it out of the ground. You got to dig it out of time. So if you want to find more gold, you just need to get more tools to dig it out of the ground. If you want to find more Bitcoin, you got to solve motherfucking time travel. Do you understand? That's why we're at 60K right now, is because Wall Street wants more Bitcoin and they can't travel to the future and get it. Satoshi Nakamoto, this guy, I mean, undisputed greatest of all time. This guy created his own version of time, slowed it down so that all of us can agree on the ordering of transactions, and then he set a monetary policy, the hardest ever, that sticks a physical money in time, not in the ground. Insane! You gotta be fucking kidding me. Okay. Money and time, those two sections were the hardest. That's some crazy shit right there. That's tough. And I'm looking at the clock. I won't go too over. I got about 10 minutes. So these two sections are a lot lighter. Thank you guys for bearing with me. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Energy. So Bitcoin's not totally done yet, okay? What's important to understand about energy? Proof of work requires computations. Proof of work is just guessing. It's a lot of work to guess a random number, right? We just talked about that. These computations require energy. Therefore, proof of work requires energy. There's no way to do the work without energy, okay? Now, I think you guys all know, I mean, not everyone's a physicist, but everyone is not stupid, right? Everyone knows energy is the currency of the universe, right? In physics, energy is the quantitative property that is transferred to a body or to a physical system, right? It's how we really, like, measure the universe, okay? Energy is distributed fairly and accessible to everyone. This is why it's very important to Bitcoin. All of us have access to energy. If you're born, you got energy, okay? You can't fake it. You can't cheat it. You can't argue with it. You can't dispute it, right? Requiring energy gives Bitcoin its unforgeable costliness. The fact that proof of work requires energy is the reason that it has an unforgeable costliness like gold, that it has a commodity premium like gold, that it's hard to make more of, is because all of us have access to energy, but no one can print it. It's very fair, and you can't argue with it. And through proof of work, it's the energy is what connects, like the atoms in this universe around us. That's what connects the real world to the digital Bitcoins. right? When people say Bitcoin's not backed by anything. No, 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 no. Bitcoin has atoms from the real universe. It has real energy in it, okay? So proof of work requiring energy is the reason proof of work cannot be cheated and what connects Bitcoin to the outside world. And it's actually the fact that energy spent on proof of work is why you can't time travel in Bitcoin. So I just wanted to make this quick point. Do you guys remember this is Bitcoin's arrow of time? So if you look at the purple here, the known past, the reason you can't time travel in Bitcoin and go back into the past is because of the energy that was spent to create it. Right? When people say you have to redo the proof of work, all of that purple is protected by energy. So you cannot time travel in Bitcoin. It's the same reason I can't time travel today. I wish I could go back in time 15 years ago and start mining Bitcoin as soon as Satoshi released it, but I can't, right? That's impossible. And the reason it's impossible to time travel in Bitcoin and say, I wish I went back. So I said on a podcast recently, I bought a painting for 6 Bitcoin once. It was one of the worst decisions of my life. That thing's not worth $300,000. You got to be out of your fucking mind. I wish I could go back to that purple block and change that, but I can't. And I can't because of the energy piece, right? And this one blows my mind a little bit. This is fucking crazy. Lists of money that we know, like the Federal Reserve or the European Central Bank or the Bank of England, these are lists that reference energy in the outside world, right? They're just pieces of paper. So when Jerome Powell comes out and says, I'm changing the interest rate, that didn't require any energy, right? What do you guys think goes into a Fed meeting? Jerome Powell is probably like, are we going to raise the rates or lower the rates? All right, now what do you want on your pizza, right? It's like, it doesn't require any energy. But Bitcoin, with proof of work, the outside world, the energy from the outside world is put into its list. So the Federal Reserve's list points to energy outside. The energy outside in Bitcoin is internalized into its list. You understand? Crazy, crazy. Okay, so we're building Bitcoin. We are all Satoshi. So firstly, Satoshi had to understand money, understand barter, what was going on. Realized that he needed to create a list instead of a physical token. He had to create his own arrow of time with proof of work. He had to slow time down so that we can all get into consensus. He set a hard monetary policy that was stuck in time. Then he uses energy through proof of work to create unforgeable costliness to make it a commodity premium like gold, and then uses energy to defend the past so that you can't travel through time in Bitcoin. You cannot go backwards in time. Now the last piece is just more fun for me is information. Because of all of this, the information is the asset. When someone says Bitcoin is a bearer instrument, it's a physical instrument, the thing that racks no coiners' brains is they're like, where? Where is it? Right? I can't see it. I can't hold it. I can't touch it. I can't sit on it. That's because the information is the asset. Okay? So again, shout out to Gigi. This map is not the territory. When you look at a map of the world, it's not actually the world. Can you imagine? I flew here from Chicago. It was ridiculous. It was like 12 hours. If I could just use a map and just drag my finger from Chicago to Madeira, that'd be great. But the map on my phone isn't the actual world. I have to go get on a fucking plane, right? But in Bitcoin, the map is the world. The map is the territory. The data is the asset. The literal physical information is the money itself, right? So if you look at, again, the lists and the token and how we talked about, they're not the same. The difference between the Federal Reserve's list of who owes what to whom and gold's coins of who owes what to whom, they're very different. But in Bitcoin, the list is the money and the money is the list, right? And the only thing we can move on the internet is information. It's the only thing we can teleport, right? But because of this, because information is now money, the map is the territory, the data is the bearer instrument, we can teleport value. We can put value in our head, right? So now I got to take another shot at gold bugs. Gold is stuck in your butt. Bitcoin is safe in your brain, right? how would I put gold, how would I get gold through the airport? I can't put it in my brain, right? My ear hole isn't wide enough, right? It's got to go up my butt, I guess. But the fact that the data is the money allows for amazing things. We can teleport data instantly. We can put a physical money in our brain. And so the last for information, this is another GG one, but I couldn't resist because you guys know I'm a chess player. Bitcoin is like chess. And what I mean by that is that chess, as defined, is a turn-based strategy game with no hidden information. Okay? So even your opponent knows your moves. There's nothing to hide. Chess has very strict rules. You play by the game, and it's all information, right? Like, this is a valid chess move. You guys know that from me. I love saying E4, E4, E4. It's a real chess move. It looks like this, right? Now, if my opponent were to say queen to D4, that would be an invalid move, okay? The queen can't make that move. That's not allowed, right? This is a valid chess game. These are all just chess moves, right? They're just data. Bitcoin is like chess. It's just data, right? But this game actually played out. This is the game of the century by Bobby Fischer. It's one of my favorite chess games of all time. So all you need is the data to understand chess. And if you try and make an invalid move, the chess consensus rules don't allow it, right? And so Bitcoin is the same way. All you need is the information. If I go back to this, someone can give you all of the historical information in Bitcoin. You could download the blockchain, and you can play every single move through Bitcoin's arrow of time. All it is information. The information is the asset. Okay, so to end it, this is how Satoshi created Bitcoin. He first understood money, then realized you need to create a list, then created his own arrow of time, then slowed down time for consensus, set a hard monetary policy stuck in time, used energy to create unforgeable costliness, used energy to defend the past, made information the actual asset, which allows us to censorship-resistantly teleport value over a communications channel like the web. Real quick, I'm getting barked at. These are my favorite takeaways. There's a lot to unpack here. I hope this gets uploaded on YouTube. This is so much fun to put together and present for you guys. But some takeaways here. Difficulty-adjusted proof of work is the innovation. Do you guys understand? Proof of work is what connects the real world to Bitcoin. If you don't have proof of work, you don't have atoms that are in the real universe in your Bitcoins, right? This was the unlock in the new Satoshi emails and the new emails that were just released. He talks about it. He's like, this is the only way I could figure out how to connect the real world to my digital money. No proof of work means no real world value. Now, this is my favorite part. This is why I don't want to get kicked off yet. The other cryptocurrencies that don't use proof of work scientifically cannot be money. Okay? What do I mean by that? Solana, it's hard to say this without laughing. Solana uses proof of history, whatever the fuck that means. Ethereum uses proof of stake now. It doesn't use proof of work anymore, right? I Googled, this was this morning. I was finishing up, and I Googled, when was the last time Solana went down? It was like Tuesday. And it goes down. Solana faces 11th network outage in 2 years. It goes down all the time. Why? Now, because of this presentation, hopefully you guys understand why. Look at how fast their clocks are moving, not their blocks. Blockchain is a scam. Stop saying that. Time chain, time chain, time chain. Bitcoin is time, right? Satoshi created digital time. He created a digital clock. Look how fast their clocks are moving. 400 milliseconds. Solana isn't accounting for the speed of light. The reason it fails so much is because they're not able to get distributed consensus. The clock is moving too fast, right? So whenever a shitcoin is like, oh, we made a faster Bitcoin, they're lying to you. They're violating the speed of light. So next time, send someone this presentation and say, no, 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 no. Solana scientifically cannot be distributed money. Like according to the speed of light, not according to what your fucking favorite influencer told you, right? So, yeah, yes. And so I don't know what Ethereum and Solana, maybe these things are technologies, maybe they're securities, I have no idea, but they're not money, right? They're clearly not money. So Bitcoin's issuance is stuck in time. This is why Bitcoin's going up so much, is you can't find any more in the ground. You'd have to travel. You'd have to invent time travel to find more Bitcoin. Bitcoin is built on time, which is our only scarce resource. Blockchain is a scam. Stop using that word. We should call it the time chain. That's what Satoshi called it. Energy defends our past, and it's a censorship-resistant way to teleport value. Whew, all right.
Am I on?
And I have a recording for you guys, because otherwise I couldn't show you this. Now we are in maintenance. So please enjoy. To the market opportunities, and here you see all the market opportunities. Make sure you reset this also, that you have the latest newest one. Here, USDT, USDC. You see, USDT, USDC. Let's try this one. If this is working, USDT, and then put in 1,000. And then we go to USDC, USDCE. Yeah. Let's see if it's above the 1%. 0.5, let's confirm. 0.95. Let's see if we can grab this and then see the commissions, the performance. Now it's buying the crypto with the flash loan, sending it from one exchange to the other. Transaction is completed, website is refreshing. Let's see if we can do another one. And it was USDT. Let's put in 500. If we can do a 500 trade, submit, and we click here USDCE. Let's see if we can have another one in the same pair. You see 1.07. I say confirm, confirm. Waiting for the confirmation from MetaMask. Confirm. Now again, it's buying with the flash loan, the crypto on one exchange, send it to another exchange, selling it there, paying back the flash loan, and sending the profit. If it happens, you get a message. Or when it's not happening, yeah, transaction complete. So let's see if we can do another one. And you can see if you do smaller amounts, then it becomes bigger. Let's see if we can do $100. Yeah, $100. Submit, and this USDCE. Let's see if the pair is still the same, because if you have a winning pair, you can do it over and over. 1.17% with $100, and you can see if the amounts are a little bit smaller, the percentages are most of the time bigger. And let's see if we can do after this one another $1,000 trade. Yes, transaction complete. Website is going to refresh the dep, and then we can do another trade. Let's do USDT again with the amount. Let's see if we can do another $1,000, and then submit, and we go back USDCE. Let's see if it's still available, and then we can do no. Now it's on minus. You see, and even when it's now minus, when I click confirm, it gives you not profitable trade. So it's protected all the way, and you can see here in the 68 trades we now made $481 in profit, and that's really, really good. So let's see, you can also go to the transaction history.
Let's do some quick calculations. There's approximately 4 trades in 3 minutes. You witnessed it live. There's 20 times 3 minutes in an hour, which means 20 times 4 trades per hour, which is 80 times approximately an average of $10 profits per trade, which is approximately $800 per hour. Please listen up. Let's continue. Now let me tell you that it's totally okay to say no to whatever has been suggested, whatever you see in this video, and your life will stay exactly the same. Nothing will change. Yet when you do say yes to opportunities like this, you may expect positive results in all levels and all areas of your life. Now, long story short, and to do some calls of action, you have been pitched in 10 minutes. And there's a couple of options here. You are able to say yes and show me your link and let's continue and I'm in. You're able to say no, but, and then all kinds of reasons, no time, no money, the cat is pregnant, whatever, and we'll help you. You can say maybe, then there's more video information below this video in the description, more video information, or be invited to our webinars, seminars, live streaming sessions, special events on and offline. And when you say, okay, I need help, then please contact the person that brought you to this 10-minute pitch, and we'll help you, or contact me. And that's about it. So would it be okay to click links below this video, start right away, register for free, and then roam around, and we'll help you set up this system on your mobile device or on your laptop, PC, or wherever, or several devices. It's possible as well to do it parallel. And don't forget, all profits are being paid directly to your non-custodial wallet. Many wallet options in the near future. For now, and it is the 3rd of March 2024, we are live. We're about to get our flash loan. That's a big story on itself. But anyway, you've seen it live now, and would it be okay to also hit a little thumbs up button underneath this YouTube video? Then this video will be ranked a little higher on YouTube and Google, for example. Then you'll do other people a favor. When you see a little share option underneath this video or somewhere on this page, share this video. Sharing is caring. Would it be okay to become a member of this channel? You'll do me a bigger favor than I do you. And please hit the little bell icon so you'll be notified whenever I or we upload a new video. Then you're always the first, and early birds do catch worms. When you see this on a page where you can leave your best email address plus mobile telephone number, please do so. We'll send you appropriate video information, and we won't spam you. You'll enter into an autoresponder system, and with a simple mouse click you're able to take yourself out of the system, so no codependency there. And that's it for now. Last but not least, stay grateful for the person that you would like to become, the circumstances that you would like to live in, and the material wealth that you would like to enjoy here now on earth. That's how you practice the law of attraction. And then I'll see you and yours on the inside, and definitely thanks to these marvelous opportunities, thanks to this fantastic, very unique, zero loss, zero owned collateral, flash loan AI arbitration, crypto trading software protocol, I'll definitely see you on the most beautiful beaches, top resorts and top hotels in the world. I'll see you there.